How to train and develop effective district managers is one of the key questions and challenges that multi-unit franchisees face every single day. This role, the district manager role, is the one to whom franchisees will be delegating day-to-day operations and oversight of the leaders in the different units. And that is why it is key for the franchisee's freedom. However, many franchisees have never been a district manager and don't even know what it is that they're supposed to be doing. And so if you don't know what it is that they're supposed to be doing, how can you develop an effective district manager training and then deliver it to them? There are many challenges beyond the fact that franchisees do not know the role. Another challenge is the time and the money that it takes to even develop such program and then deliver it to the district managers. If the franchisees are going to have freedom by having district managers, obviously training of them needs to be done in a very easy and effective way. So in today's podcast, I'm going to be sharing the steps that you need to take to be able to create such a training program for district managers. And at the end, I'm going to give you an invitation on how you can do it even faster and better. So stay till the end. Okay, so the very first step to create an effective training for district managers is to understand how that role is completely different to the role of a unit manager. Yes, understanding and knowing day-to-day operations of the particular brand that they're going to be overseeing is a critical characteristic or skill that these men and women need to have. However, it's just one small part of what the role entails. The role of a district manager is, like I said, completely different. And what I mean by that is that when you're a unit manager, 80% of what you do is dictated by day-to-day operations of the brand and the business systems that you have. For example, the managers need to open the unit at a specific time. They need to set the store and the unit to prepare for customer service. They need to welcome the employees. They need to make schedules. They need to do inventory. They need to order products, take care of customers, oversee the shift management, and then of course clean, or at least oversee the cleaning, and then close the business and go home. So in between there's about 20% of the activities that the unit managers will dictate themselves. But for the vast majority, what they do is dictated by day-to-day operations. When it comes to the district manager role, 100% of what they do is dictated by them. What they're going to do, where they're going to do it, when they're going to do it, how they're going to do it, and why they're going to do it is all the decisions that these men and women must make every single day to be able to be effective. And that is a huge difference from being a unit manager. So the skills necessary to be an effective district manager are completely different from that of a unit manager. So that is the first step for you to be able to create an effective training program for district managers. Understand the difference between the prior role and the new role that those men and women are now responsible for. The second step that you need to take to be able to create an effective training program and create effective district managers is to clearly define what are the responsibilities of a district manager. And here at the American Franchise Academy, we have separated those responsibilities into 7 buckets. The first bucket is that of being a great leader, a leader that inspires a team to be able to execute the business and brand systems with excellence. Someone that understands how their role is all about inspiring the people in the front lines, and how their role is really more about coaching and inspiring and developing them rather than doing what they're doing every day. Leadership and inspiration is a key responsibility of a district manager. The second key responsibility of a district manager is planning. Like I mentioned, everything that they do, they decide. So they need to have excellent time management skills so that they can then have the right decisions and doing the right activities at the right time in the right place. And this takes very special skills and knowledge to be able to do that effectively. When district managers do not have the skill is when they end up working 60, 70 hours a week trying to overcompensate for this lack of skill. And so it is important that these men and women get developed in this particular knowledge and skill. The third critical responsibility of a district manager is that of staffing. Now, they're not supposed to be hiring and interviewing every single person in all their units, but they need to be able to understand where the staffing levels are of their units and how to support the unit managers and be able to attract and hire and retain great members of their teams. Now, they are responsible for the hiring normally of of the leaders of their units, because they're the ones that they're going to be working with directly, as well as developing a strategic bench planning so that when the need arises, they have the leaders ready to go for those new leadership positions. So that brings us to the fourth skill of an effective district manager, and that is of being able to ensure that the units are executing the business and brand systems every single day. Now, the number one way to do that is by having an effective unit visit. So their responsibility is that whenever they're going to the units, they're doing not just a regular visit, but an effective unit visit. Now, what does that look like? What are the steps that they need to take? What are they supposed to do, and when they're supposed to do it, and how they're supposed to do it is a very important, critical responsibility of a district manager. Now, the sixth responsibility of a district manager is that of maintenance. They need to make sure that the units are clean and in good working order. And if there are issues, they need to be able to manage those maintenance issues across multiple units. So therefore, they need to have a process to do that the most effective way so that they can resolve those issues as quickly as possible and avoid any possible sales or customer service issues. And the sixth responsibility of a district manager is to market. They need to have the skills to be able to co-create a local store marketing plan with a unit manager. If they do that, they're able to then give each of the managers that are ready to receive more business the structure ability to then create a strategic local store marketing plan to attract and invite the customers, the community in the area to come and experience the product or service that they deliver in the units. Being able to own your sales and guide and coach the unit managers on how to do that is going to be a critical responsibility of a district manager. And the last and most important responsibility of a district manager is that to produce results. Obviously, responsibility 1 through 6 really ultimately is to be able to produce results, and the ultimate result is profitability. Everything that the district manager does every single day and everything that the unit manager does every single day is to be able to transform the brand that the franchisee invested in and all the management systems that they implement every day into profitability. So ultimately, everything that is done is to be able to increase profitability that is sustainable and secure for the business. So that is the ultimate responsibility of a district manager. So as you can see, these 7 critical responsibilities are important for you to know, understand, and how to do so that you can build a training program that develops effective district managers. The third step to create a program that produces effective district managers is that to define the policies, the procedures, and create the tools that the district managers will need to use when they are doing their job every day. There are certain policies that they need to understand, and you as a franchisee need to define. For example, what is the process that they need to do to be able to get a maintenance approved? What is a budget that the franchisee needs to approve, and what's the budget that the district manager can approve? These type of policies are going to be important so that the franchisee and the district manager are aligned on the responsibilities and the actions that they should take every day. This will take time, but if you do that, there will be clarity, there will be alignment, and they will be able to meet your expectations. The fourth step that you need to follow when you're developing a training program for district managers is that you need to agree on what are going to be the effective daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly routines that these district managers should follow in their day-to-day. Because those routines, those habits are the ones that are going to produce the results in every area of responsibility. And many things can be done in different ways, but if you want to be able to have an effective training for your district managers, there needs to be consistency among all of them. This way you can properly train them and properly follow up on each of them so that you can see that they are being effective at the job they're supposed to do. So being in alignment of their routines and their habits that they should be doing day to day is going to be a great and very important process of the training for effective district managers. And this brings me to the fifth and last step of creating a great training program for effective district managers, and that is a follow-up process. Once you have defined all of these things, what is the job of the district manager? What are the responsibilities? What are the routines that you should follow? There needs to be a way for you as their leader and direct supervisor to follow up, and all of these things need to happen. No matter how great district managers are, they still need accountability. Heck, we all need accountability. What are you going to do to be able to follow up on all these things that the district managers have to do? How are you going to recognize them and acknowledge when they're doing a great job? And how are you going to address when they get derailed and they stop doing things that are important? This process is going to be very important to ensure that what you have spent so much time and effort and work in creating for a training program that is actually coming to life every day when it comes to the job of the district manager. So those are the 5 steps to follow follow to be able to create a great training program for effective district managers. I know it sounds like a lot, especially if you have never been a district manager and don't really understand what you need to do to be able to train them. So here's an invitation for you on a resource that can save you time, money, and resources, and that is the Multi-Unit Leadership Training Program for the American Franchise Academy. This program has been created specifically to provide the men and women in those district manager, multi-unit leadership positions with the knowledge, the tools, the resources, and the development that they need to be effective and successful at their role. This particular training not only gives them all those tools, but gives them the ability to have a work-life harmony and produce the results that you want and deserve, and that they also want to produce for you. I would like to invite you to learn more about this program. All you need to do is visit us at AmericanFranchiseAcademy.com and look at the program LEAD and learn more about our LEAD program, which is the Multi-Unit Leadership Certification Program for District Managers. I hope that this gave you an idea of what it takes to develop a training for effective district managers and that you consider using us as a resource for your organization. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.